Part of being a scary villain is having the ability to take a life when it's necessary. But for Rose Tattoo, the spirit of murder, killing becomes the goal. I can't wait to tell you more about her on this episode of Lesser Evils. Rose Tattoo first appeared in Stormwatch Volume 1, Issue 37 that came out in 1996. She is brought into Stormwatch, a UN-sanctioned superhero team, by its leader, Henry Bendix. Bendix had first encountered Rose Tattoo in the 60s while he was working as a spy. She had been working with a superhero known as the High, and Bendix immediately became interested in her. In the modern era, when Bendix recruits Rose Tattoo, he finds her standing in the middle of a recent bloodbath. She is introduced to the other members of Stormwatch as a superhumanly good shot who is not to be talked to. Bendix then radically changes the Stormwatch team lineups. Rose Tattoo is placed with two other female members and dubbed Stormwatch Red. Their purpose is to deter potential violence as well as retaliate for violence already committed. When a murderous superhuman appears in the German countryside, Bendix sends in Stormwatch Prime and Stormwatch Red to intercept. The group confronts the superhuman and Rose Tattoo fires her pistols before anyone can act. Her shots prove completely ineffective, and the Stormwatch Prime team leader Winter stops her attack before both are blasted with energy by the Nietzsche-quoting maniac. Rose Tattoo is saved by Winter's energy-absorbing powers, but he chastises her for acting without his orders. The superhuman proves to be too powerful for the combined teams to stop, and a plan is concocted involving the team's teleporters. Utilizing Rose Tattoo's superhuman marksmanship, her bullets strike the button activating the teleporter field, and sending the superhuman's lower half elsewhere, thus ending the threat. When a global terrorist named Gamora causes the deaths of 233 innocent people with a mutating virus, Stormwatch Red is sent to his home, narcissistically named Gamora Island. While the other two members of Stormwatch Red are ordered to destroy buildings and infrastructure, Rose Tattoo is tasked with killing exactly 233 citizens of Gamora Island. Finding a nearby town, Rose Tattoo immediately opens fire on the first group of men she finds, then moves on to murder more. The next Stormwatch mission deals with stopping groups of superhuman triplets whose incredible telekinetic powers are causing disastrous earthquakes in Japan. Stormwatch Red is tasked with taking down one group. While the other two members of the team debate how they are going to take down the triplets, Rose Tattoo simply pulls out a bullet with a radiation symbol and fires it through the corner of the building. The round explodes and releases an acid mist that kills the superhumans. When she is not on a mission, Rose Tattoo is kept in a maximum security cell on Stormwatch's satellite headquarters. On one occasion, Rose Tattoo asks to leave her cell and go for a walk. After she is given permission, the guard is ordered to arm himself and follow the normal routines. When the guard opens the cell door, he orders Rose Tattoo to begin walking, but she instead begins advancing on him. The guard threatens to shoot her, but he is quickly overpowered when Rose Tattoo begins kissing him and then pulling him into her cell. Sometime later, another guard is walking past and discovers the naked and bloody form of the first guard, curled in the fetal position outside of Rose Tattoo's cell. A trail of his blood leads from him to the door, and later a doctor mentions that he would need years of counseling to have any hope of overcoming the trauma of having sexual relations with Rose Tattoo. Soon after this, Henry Bendix arrives in Rose Tattoo's cell to tell her a friend of hers is back. The superhero known as the High has become active again, and Bendix knows the man will begin gathering others to his cause. After returning Rose Tattoo's guns, Bendix asks her how she will stop the group, to which she speaks for the first time answering, "They need to kill them all." The Stormwatch members are briefed about the High's team, known as the Changers, who had begun their large-scale efforts to change the world for the better. Rose Tattoo is sent to take out one of the Changers, named Eidolon, who claims to be undying. Stormwatch and the Changers manage to reach an agreement after a brief spat, until one of the Changers is executed by Rose Tattoo. Angered by the unnecessary death, a Stormwatch member breaks Rose Tattoo's neck, killing her. This is followed by Bendix sending a strategic biological attack that kills the remaining Changers but not Stormwatch. Following this, Henry Bendix is killed by a member of Stormwatch for his backstabbing and generally assholish ways. His death prompts the formation of a new superhero team called the Authority, made up of many former Stormwatch members who got tired of dealing with politics when they just wanted to save the world. The team beats back threats like an army of Gamoran supermen, the return of God, and a redneck government super assassin with over 1,000 superpowers. And then they take over the United States for a short time before giving it back. Fuck, I love comics. This sets the stage for the return of the real Henry Bendix. Side note, the original was a dupe from a parallel universe. Who knew? This Bendix also brings with him the newest incarnation of Rose Tattoo, who no one had thought to look for. The new Rose Tattoo is incredibly attracted to this Bendix, as her kiss does not cause his death. Rose Tattoo kicked off Bendix's plan by murdering the magic user of the Authority known as the Doctor, using a black tar blowjob to dope up the former addict, before killing him with an overdose while she rode his dick. Unfortunately, the plans Bendix had set up get ruined pretty quickly by the Authority, and he takes out his frustrations on Rose Tattoo. Gathering Rose Tattoo and a group of soldiers, Bendix teleports onto the Authority ship, which used to be his ship, and takes control of it. Using the ship's teleporters, Bendix sends away a pair of the Authority's members along with Rose Tattoo. They arrive in New York City, where Rose Tattoo quickly begins creating distractions by throwing people off of a skyscraper. The Authority members split up to save the people and capture Rose Tattoo, but discover too late about Rose Tattoo's kiss of death. Rose Tattoo leaves the pair and regroups with Bendix as he mind controls the team's most dangerous member to fight against his comrades. When the Authority beat the mind control and teleport to Bendix's ship, Rose Tattoo wastes no time targeting the most powerful member of the team. Attempting her kiss of death again, Rose Tattoo receives a powerful electric shock from the team's new doctor. The Doctor moves to kill Rose Tattoo, but instead decides to experiment. He succeeds, and Rose Tattoo changes from the spirit of murder to the spirit of peace, with the ability to heal wounds and reanimate corpses. Rose Tattoo is present when the team encounters Captain Atom while the hero is stranded in the Wildstorm universe, and is there to help out with the victims after an attack by a Lovecraftian god. At some point, Stormwatch discovers a forgotten bunker used by Henry Bendix, thanks to the man's son, William Bendix. Seeing anything dealing with Bendix as bad, the Authority arrives to stop Stormwatch from opening the bunker. The two teams inevitably come to blows, as super teams tend to do, and Rose Tattoo shows just how much and how little she has changed when she screws her opponent into submission. The fight escalates when a member of each team seems to be killed, during which Rose Tattoo takes down another member of Stormwatch by making out with them. The doors to the bunker end up opening due to the two teams fighting, and a bootleg Undead Justice League marches out under the orders of a holographic Henry Bendix. Seeing the hologram of Bendix causes Rose Tattoo to stop. Rose Tattoo is targeted by the Green Lantern wannabe, whose powers make her see apparitions of all the people that she had murdered. She catches a break from a teammate, but the visions are overwhelming and remind Rose Tattoo of her love for murder. She then proceeds to throw her sword through the chest of the knockoff lantern. After the shitty Justice League are put down, both teams move in together to investigate the bunker further, leaving Rose Tattoo behind. It is then that she hears the voice of Henry Bendix. Rose Tattoo struggles with her joy of seeing him and her inability to be with him because of her changes. Bendix questions the change, claiming that there will always be a spirit of murder. Rose Tattoo readily agrees. As the two teams are distracted with looking at all of Bendix's dirty secrets, they are unaware that Rose Tattoo has entered the bunker with murder on her mind. While the two teams deal with the implications of the bunker, Rose Tattoo arms herself with weapons she finds. The Bendix hologram begins messing with the two teams and building distrust, before happily directing their attention to the threat of Rose Tattoo. Opening up with her guns, Rose Tattoo cuts her way through the members of both teams. Her former teammates in the Authority are initially hesitant to kill Rose Tattoo until they are reminded of her reincarnative nature. Before anyone can act on it, events get worse as Henry Bendix manages his own kind of reincarnation that involves gaining the powers of each member of Stormwatch and the Authority. Rose Tattoo aids the newly resurrected Bendix and defends him from attacks until she is confronted by her former teammate from the Authority. The woman does her best to remind Rose Tattoo of her good nature, but only receives a sword through her chest in return. Just then, William Bendix arrives and, thanks to being the spitting image of his father, explains to Rose Tattoo how she can be both the spirit of murder and the spirit of life. He then presents the choices of being led by his father or going her own way. Choosing herself, Rose Tattoo attacks Henry Bendix and kills him, resulting in a large explosion. Rose Tattoo is later confirmed to have perished in the blast. Not even the Authority knows whether Rose Tattoo will come back as the spirit of murder or the spirit of life, but somewhere in the state of Arkansas, a redneck is threatening his daughter, and it is revealed that she is the new incarnation of Rose Tattoo. After the Wildstorm universe was folded into the main DC universe during Flashpoint, a new Rose Tattoo appears in New Suicide Squad issue 20 from 2016. The squad is dealing with a cult focused on the glories of murder, and during the ceremony, Rose Tattoo is awakened. The squad discovers her symbol and are reminded of a nursery rhyme warning about Rose Tattoo. Rose Tattoo makes her shadowy appearance by killing a rogue mercenary. After murdering a Z-list squad member, Rose Tattoo prepares to murder Harley Quinn. Her life is saved by the arrival of her teammates El Diablo and Cheetah. Cheetah immediately engages Rose Tattoo as they are both forces of nature. Rose Tattoo gladly battles her, claiming to have killed goddesses before. Cheetah begins losing the fight, and El Diablo decides to deal with Rose Tattoo himself as he isn't afraid of ending up in hell with her. Using all of his fire powers and quoting scripture, El Diablo and Rose Tattoo vanish, leaving a fiery skull behind. The rebooted Rose Tattoo hasn't appeared again since. So why do I think Rose Tattoo is worth checking out? First, I love the idea of a spirit of murder. In a world of superheroes and gods, that just makes sense to me. Since she reincarnates, that opens up the doors to all kinds of historical accounts of Rose Tattoo in any place where violence and death have occurred. The New 52 incarnation even added the element of a nursery rhyme, building lore for Rose Tattoo. Since she is a global force of nature, it makes sense that Rose Tattoo could be any nationality or race. With her ability to assume new hosts immediately after death, she is an enemy that could return from anywhere. Rose Tattoo has a bunch of neat abilities, beginning with superhuman marksmanship. She can supposedly hit any target, no matter the distance or difficulty of the shot. Rose Tattoo can design and construct her own weapons using methods unknown to anyone else in the world. It is said that given enough time, Rose Tattoo can kill anything. Versatile in her methods, Rose Tattoo placed a tough-looking security guard into a catatonic state with nothing but her voice and sex. Using her own bodily fluids as a delivery method, she was able to kill a reformed drug addict with an overdose. With just a kiss, she could seemingly suck the life out of her victims. As the spirit of life, Rose Tattoo changed things up and gained the ability to heal mental and physical wounds. She also can seemingly incapacitate her opponents by fucking them. It also seems Rose Tattoo is capable of being simultaneously the spirit of murder and the spirit of life, which would possibly give her access to all of these abilities. Ultimately, I think Rose Tattoo is just too good of a character not to be used all over the DC universe. Say you need a one-off villain you can kill at the end of the story without worry, look to Rose Tattoo. Maybe you need a scary foreign villain that doesn't require a shoehorned backstory, look to Rose Tattoo. When you need a villain capable of making any superhero fight for their life, even that bitch Superman, see Rose Tattoo. And don't forget, may you find a girl with a crooked leg, may you find a girl with a crooked nose, but on the sake of your life, may you never find a girl named for the tattoo of a rose.